And welcome to Access Grader 1. Let's get started. You can see immediately that I brought up the downloaded area where I'm going to download my materials, which I'll do. You can see download all those files, get that done. I've already done it, so you can see that it's in my downloads file. So that's for Access Grader 1. What we're going to do is open up step 1 says to start the access. So we're going to do that by starting with this particular link right here that says construction at the end. That's what it's telling us to do. I'm going to move the instructions in so you can see it right here. Go to constructions. Okay, so I will do that. Move this out of the way. Double click. And here's our access. Enable. Save as. And when we save as, let's do this right on our desktop for now. There we go. Now it's saved on our desktop. We'll upload at the end. Step number 2, in Data Sheet View, create a new table. That's the very first part, so let's do that. I'm going to take this event that's open. I'm going to close it first. Now what it's telling me is I want to create a new, under create, a new table. This is the create table, the create tab, and here's the table. Now it says beginning in the second column of the table and using the data type of short text, create building, project, then site, then contractor fields. All right, so let's do that. To get started, we're going to go into View, and we're going to do Data View, which is already, it's already set for us. So I can go in Short Text by clicking that. The field name will be Building Projects, and then I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do another short text right here called Site. I'm not going to do all capitals. There we go. And then next one is another short text. And you've noticed these look like columns and cells similar to Excel. However, the difference will be extremely obvious as we get through this Access program. So the next one is Contractor. Okay. So now I got 1, 2, 3, 4 fields all together. And the last one says in the 5th column, use a currency. So I'm going to go to 5th column. I'm going to do currency. And I'm going to put in the word budget amount. I'm going to do that now. Budget amount. There it is. That's done. Number 2 is all set. We're going to go over to 3. Next part on 3 says change the data type of the ID field. So what does it say to do? Let's take a look here. To accomplish this, changing this ID, go over to the views and hit design view. I'm going to save the table name. Just pause for 1 second. I just want you to notice before I do anything else is in table 1 I typed in project ID. To do that I double clicked on it and I typed in project ID. In addition to this changing the field property, you can go up to data type, highlight the project ID, go up to the data type and do what it says, which is we're going to change it to a short text. That concludes number 3. Now we're going on to step 4. This is the data entry part. So it tells you very specifically what you need to add in there. So it says P356. So that seems to be the project ID number. So I'm going to put that in. Oops. I'm going to type it in. And you have to, I guess, just type it P356. And then the building project will be Student Center. Capitalized. All right, and then you do, the next would be site, 3-story North Campus, and then the contractor would be R&R Construction with the budget amount at the end. So I'll type all this up and I'll move forward on this project. You'll see the outcome in just a second. Okay, you can see it just quickly went to all of the filled in data. So I did that. I paused the recorder while I was doing this so you could see exactly the way this should look. I'm going to bring up the example right here in my computer. Let me get this up here. And then you can see that it says building projects. You can see that it says, you know, student center, 3-story, 2-story, and then the budget amount. It doesn't show the contractor in this particular final product, except for this page right here. I'll probably be adding more. So obviously it's not done. We're only on number 4, but that does conclude number 4. So I'm going to save this table as number 5. This is step number 5. This is save. So I'm going to hit Control S. I'm going to save it as projects. Projects, projects. Okay. So now that finishes 5. So we're going on to 6. This is called append the records from the download. So I have to open up a new file. In order to do that, try this tab called external data. And then we'll go into, because it's asking you for an Excel file, click on import. And it asks to append the records. And so we're going to do that. And we're going to append those records onto the projects table. Okay. And where we're going to get it is I'm going to browse into my downloads. Okay, you'll notice that I've already got the append. It's on projects, and here I am going to my desktop, and it says specifically open up the projects. Click that and hit append and hit OK. So one thing I have to close everything. So let me just, yeah, it looks like it closed it. So it's bringing up this form here, and we're just going to go through everything carefully. So I'm going to hit next and projects. That's where we want to import to. I'm going to hit finish, and then I'm going to close. Okay, so now what we're going to do is that we're going to go and open this to see what it looks like. Double click on projects, and there's the information. Okay, we're done with number 6. We're going to open the projects table, which is done. That's part of number 7. The table has 8 records. So let's just double check to see it has 8 records. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 records. Now I counted them manually, or you can look at the bottom right here and you can see the number. That's 6 of 8, 7 of 8, and the total is 8. That completes number 7. So I'm going to close this project by right-clicking, close, and now we're going on to 8. Actually, I need to keep the projects open, it looks like. So it says switch the projects table to design view. So what does that mean? Well, let's take a look at the views on the left-hand side. Go up here, and I'm going to left-click, and I'm going to go to design view. And it says for the project ID field, enter description of, enter the project ID using the format PWW, hashtag. So that's in a description for project ID. So I'm going to put that in there. I have the luxury of just copying and pasting, but you can type, you'd have to type that in. And then it says change the field size to 5 and save the table after that. So I'm going to field size. This is at the bottom of the page. Again, this is for the project ID. field size to 5. And then I hit Control S for save. What? And it's good to go. We'll go back to the data view. And that's it. I saved it. Now we're going on to 9. Here it says number 9. Switch to data sheet view. Apply best fit to all the fields in the table. Save the table and then close the table. So best fit is like in Excel when you could double click on the column. So we can copy everything here. And then we're going to talk about row heights, standard. Okay, that's good. So for best fit, we could write, and then we'll do best fit. See that? So you could do it that way, or you could double click like this. So if it's wrong like this area, not reading the whole thing, you double click it, and it gives you best fit. But I'll show you a continued way, which is field width, best fit. See that? And then you could do that for each one. Best fit. All right. Best fit. And then I go into, it's always right clicking, field width, and then I hit best width. Best width. Okay. Number 9 is done. And I'm going to save the table, then close. So I'm going to Control S, save the table, close. That ends number 9. We're going on to number 10. For this one, we're going to import by going into external data. We're going to import another Excel file. I'm going to Excel. Let's go choose that Excel file, which is going to be under, at least in my desktop, and it says very specifically the contract. So that's what we're going to do to contractors. I'm going to do that. And it says start a new database. And we're going to name it contractors. So this is the set, import, hit OK. And it says designate the first row as column headings and the ID field is the primary. So look what I do. I'm going to click here before I move forward. Then I'm going to go to next. And it says make the ID field as primary. You see there's the ID. Okay. And this is the primary. You can see all of that. Let access add a primary key. No, it says choose my own, which is going to be ID. Okay. Next up, we'll go to import the table as contractors, and then I hit finish, and I hit close. And now let's go take a look and see if we have the contractors. So you'll see this little double arrow on this far left. That'll open and close. I'll hit the contractors button to verify, and there it all is. We're done with number 10, going on to 11. Now that it's open, it says open the contractors table, which is already done. And the table has 4 records, so we can see 1 record, 2, 3, 4. We can look at the bottom. There's 4 records. Okay. It says apply best fit. So I'm going to double click on these. I'm going to double click. Let's give me best fit. There we go. And now I'm going to save the table. Control S. I'm going to save and then close. Right click. That ends number 11. We're on 12 now. We're going to make a query now. So based on the projects table. So I have to open a query. This is anything you're going to do in terms of the word create. You go under the tab of create. And we're going to do what it says, which is use the query wizard to create a simple query. So here's the query wizard. Simple query. I hit OK. And it's going to ask for a few basic things. Add the site amount. So we're going to do this for project tables. So let's go to project. This is our table. It says add the site. Click on it twice. Building projects, add, double click. Budget, amount. And so let's just see if we got that right. Site, building projects, budget, and then the last one is keep the default name of project query. Finish to display the query results and close. So I'm going to hit next, show every field, and then I'm going to hit next. Project query, it says to keep it that way. All right, and then I hit finish. It runs it. This is the query. So there we go. It's not asking you to do this, but I'm going to just make sure it has a best fit. That's our project's query. So at this point, it says you're going to keep it, you're going to finish it. We displayed the results, and then we're closing that query. So I'm going to up here, hit close. Completed number 12, we're on 13. Based on your project's table, use the form tool to create a form for the table. So projects table. So it's going to go to my projects table. Okay. It's projects. And then it says create a form. So I have it highlighted. And I'm going to use the form tool. I'm going to create the form and then save the form as project form. So I'm going to save it as a project form. So do it like that, project form. And now it says display it again, but this time you want to display it in its form look. So go all the way to the bottom here. And I'm going to double click on the form, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to close. It looks like I'm going to close this one out. Next part is the number 14 based on your projects table. So we'll go back to projects, highlight that. Use the report tool to create a report. So now I have that set, and I'm going to go to create, and I'm going to create a report. Just by pressing that button. There we go. Now it also says delete the amount field from the report. So let's go over to the amount side. And I'll just click right here. There we go. Delete that out. Okay. Save the report. Now it says save it, so we're going to save, and it's projects report is the name. That completes number 14. We're going on to 15. Turns out we got to keep the projects report open, so I'm going to go back and do that. Projects open, and it says sort the building project field in ascending order. So let me just shrink down that navigation pane so we can better see this. In order to sort, we're going to go into a layout view. This view allows you to group, sort, and do the totals. So go into that, and the button for it is under Design tab. Here's the group sort, and you select the area that you want. Okay, so that completes. Let me just make sure this completes it. And delete the page number from the report before. Okay, so number 15. Before we go, there's a page number area. So I'm going to delete that, and then save the report. So then I'll do a Control S and save it. Now I'm done with 15. I'm moving on to number 16. For this part, we're going to open a navigation pane. That's right here. I'm going to close it and show you again. See navigation pane where my cursor is located. Open that. Open the event list form. Open the event list form. Okay. So let's go. Here's that event list form. And if you remember in class, we talked about the 4 modules. We have 4 that are the most used. The number 1 is, I'm going to show it to you before we get started, the tables. The next module is queries. Then we have forms, and we have reports. So what we're looking at is one of the 4, and that's event list. I'm opening that up now. This is for number 16. So I'm going to just close out, like it says, the navigation pane. I could just click on this little button right here. And now in the event list, there are multiple items form. Enter the following 2 records. So the start time and end time data will reformat automatically. So let's start with that. The title will be groundbreaking. I'll work on all of this and get it done quickly. Enter the groundbreaking. Type that in. Now the start time, you use the button over here and it says 6:13:21. So how I'm going to get there is I'm going to click all the way through. You could do it as simple as this. Click it fast, and then you go to April. It says, do I have it right? Yeah, 6:13. So, all right, so here it is. It's 4:13. I should really wake up here. So number, it's 4:13. Let's do that. There we go. All right, here we go. So I just populated everything. You didn't have to watch me type every detail in. So that's it for number 16. I typed in the information, I selected the dates, I wrote in the descriptions and the locations. That completes number 16. We're going on to 17. So we're going to do a new, and according to number 17, in the event list form, click new event. So here's the new, click on that. And we're going to enter the following record, community arts. So I'll do the title, and I'm copying and pasting, but you're going to have to type it. The start time, okay. All right, and the end time. Oops, I didn't do the time up here. So I'm going to go back and fix that. And then a description, book and art expo at the library. Again, I'm just copying and pasting. Location is Southeast Campus. I'll put that in here. That completes number 7. I'm going to hit save. I'm sure it didn't even say to do that, but I'm going to hit save. I'm going to close. Oh, now on number 18, here we are. Close the detail event, the single record form. That's what we had. Close all database objects. All right, so this is what the objects. I'm going to close all. Open a navigation pane right here. And then exit access. Okay. Close that out. And now we're going to submit it. That concludes all of the steps. Email me, let me know if you need any assistance. I hope you do well with this program. Remember, Access is going to take you a little more time, but I wish you well. Thank you.